recording right now, so we will get going. Appreciate you taking a few minutes. Campaigning is a full-time job. We both know that. How will you run an effective campaign for the United States Senate and lead the city of Shreveport?
Yeah, so campaigning is a full-time job. You know that being mayor is a full-time job as well. The way I'll be effective at both is because I'll be fighting for the same issues. Right now, we know that COVID-19 has ravaged our community, our public health, our economy, and it's not just in Shreveport. The same thing is taking place throughout Louisiana. So the same leadership that I've exuded since this crisis struck our hometown, the city of Shreveport, is the same leadership that I'll present to the people of Louisiana in running for the United States Senate.
You bring up COVID and that pandemic is ongoing. How will the pandemic impact? It's changed our way of life. So how will that impact your ability to get to know people and to effectively campaign?
Well, you know, first and foremost, as mayor, public safety and public health is paramount to me. That was a part of when I was campaigning for mayor. That remains a big part of the energy and effort of the city of Shreveport. So we're going to make sure that we are campaigning as safely as possible. Now, the way to still get our messaging out, we are going to really have to rely on technology. We're really going to have to rely on endorsements and getting the word out in that way. But we have an extremely strong campaign. Our team is strong. We're going to be able to raise the resources that we need for our messaging to get out. And leadership throughout Louisiana have already started to sign on, and they are all about our campaign. So we're very confident that we'll be able to get out and campaign effectively, even in the COVID environment, and keep everybody safe.
You bring up endorsements. Senator Cassidy already has the backing of the Louisiana GOP and President Trump. How are you going to stack up against that?
We're going to stack up very well. Yesterday morning, the DSCC, the Democratic Senate Campaign Committee, endorsed us. There will be other senators that will come behind them as well. We'll have a lot of state leadership that are going to come behind us and endorse as well. And we did the interview with the executive board for the Louisiana Democratic Party yesterday. So hopefully we captured that endorsement soon. So with endorsements, we will be stacked up equally. And again, it's just going to come to messaging, and we're confident that the people of Louisiana is going to choose the candidate that is going to fight for all of Louisianians and not just the wealthy and well-connected ones.
Just checked not too long ago. I want to say 12 candidates have qualified for this race, including you, including Senator Cassidy. Most are Democrats or don't have any party affiliation. What do you need to do to make sure you're in that position to make? Most likely will be a runoff with that many candidates. So what do you need to do to make sure you are in the runoff with Senator Cassidy?
Yeah, I touched on it earlier. Our messaging is going to have to be, spot on during this time. And in addition to that, we're going to have to get out and we're going to have to listen to the people of Louisiana as well, whether that be by Zoom call or whatever technology and safety permits. But we're confident that we know exactly what Louisianans need in this moment of crisis, in this time of crisis. And we know that our message is going to resonate. We'll have the backing of a lot of elected officials, a lot of leadership in the community, and we're going to raise the resources so that our voices can rise above the crowd.
You say the messaging, getting that. What's your signature platform that you're running on for this race?
Yeah, so the signature platform is going to be about, number one, managing in a time of crisis. That's where we are right now. But in addition to that, we're going to talk about healthcare. We're going to talk about my emphasis on healthcare, our emphasis on education in our state, infrastructure. We're going to touch on various topics, but healthcare is going to be the big one. We know Senator Cassidy ran on a platform to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. That's extremely favorable in Louisiana. And he's a medical doctor. He should have known better that if we would have repealed or replaced that, it would have gotten rid of health insurance for about 500,000 Louisianians. And then there's 1 million Louisianians that have pre-existing conditions. And the plan that he proposed would not have covered them. So him being a doctor, him knowing better, we're going to go straight at that. And we're going to say, hey, just imagine how bad we would be right now in the middle of a pandemic if almost 500,000 Louisianans did not have health care insurance.
Mhm. South Louisiana, we know, plays an important role in any statewide race. We're up here in Northwest Louisiana. What are you going to do to get your name out, get your message out to those voters south of the lake?
Yeah, and I'll say, I mean, just under the 2 years that I've been in the mayor's office, we've done great with making networks and connections and relationships in South Louisiana. This campaign won't turn into a north of I-10, south of I-10 battle, or even I don't think it's going to turn into a Democrat-Republican battle. I think this campaign is going to be who is going to best serve all of the people of Louisiana. We're going to bring a coalition together of people from all over this state, from young people, some of our seniors. We're going to bring everybody together who know that we need a fighter in Washington, and we haven't seen that during this pandemic. Again, from a medical doctor who should have led the charge with the mask mandate and led the charge with making sure that we had the resources that we need. Our Senate right now has been sitting on a bill that the House presented that would have made sure that these very valuable unemployment benefits that would have gone towards these working class families, the Senate has been sitting on that bill for 2 months. And I just can't, that you have to be disconnected to sit on a bill for 2 months, put our working class families through that psychological toll, trying to figure out how they're going to pay for the food that they're going to feed their families with, how they're going to pay for clothes to outfit their children before they go back to school, how they're going to pay for housing, and sit on that bill for 2 months, knowing that these people need answers right now. They need help right now. They need resources from the federal government that they pay taxes to right in this moment. So we're gonna speak that. Being a mayor helps me speak that language. I hear from our citizens each and every day. And again, we're gonna give Louisiana the option to choose an alternative and to go down another road so that we can take care of each other.
Mhm. What would you say to those who may say, it will come up, and you may have already heard it, that will say or might say that you're abandoning Shreveport?
Yeah. Well, the senator himself said that yesterday. So it's not those. The senator himself said, I'm abandoning my post. And that's 100% false. Again, I've pointed out this virus, the way that it's impacted our way of life, the way that it's impacted our economy, the same things that Shreveport need is the same thing that the state needs right now. I am from Shreveport. I came back to Shreveport very, very deliberately. I would never leave Shreveport. I am going to be able to serve and do all of my duties as the mayor while I am campaigning. And given the success of this run, even if I'm in DC, you better believe Louisiana is going to be first on the top of my mind. I'm going to come to Shreveport. I'm going to continue to serve the needs of Shreveport, not just in a time of crisis, but throughout. I've been a mayor for, again, just under 2 years, and Senator Cassidy has come to Shreveport one time since I've been mayor. And we're the third largest city in the state. Again, this shouldn't be about Democrat or Republican. This should be about what candidate is going to fight for our community in the best manner.
You're going to need Republican voters if you hope to win. How do you convince them to support you?
Yeah, well, in my mayoral race, we were able to get a lot of Republican voters, and I'm confident that we'll be able to get a lot of Republican voters in this run as well. My background, my policy points, the position I stand on is not super partisan. Again, I have a story where I can relate to all Louisianians. I'm a religious man. I have various other ways that we'll connect, but Republicans right now, for instance, I'll give you an example. There's a lot of Republican families right now that are waiting on those unemployment benefits and have seen the Senate sit on it for 2 months. And them voting for Cassidy would be voting against their own interests right now. So again, we're going to have a compelling story for all the voters to let them know that I will go to DC and I'm going to fight for them. I'm going to take a sense of urgency to DC to where we can actually get what we need out of our federal delegation.
I'll get you out on this. Why now? Why run for this seat now?
And I'm going to tell you full honesty, a couple months ago, this was not on my mind at all. I had already been approached a couple months ago about doing this, and I denied it. I said, hey, I'm just focused on being the mayor. There's a lot going on. I need to focus on that. But over time, in being the mayor, seeing the absence of leadership from DC, us putting forth request after request for resources, us urging our federal delegation to do things and not getting that help. We are Louisianans. We know what it's like to be neglected in a time of crisis. And I felt that neglect on top of, a continued effort of recruitment And I said, hey, this is the time. This is a moment for us to have a stronger leader in DC. If that is going to help out Shreveport, if that's going to help Louisiana, then I will step up. So I answered the call once again, just like I did after 9/11 when answering the call to serve the military.
All right. I know you have some more of these interviews to do, so I appreciate the time. Hopefully we can catch up again. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye.